Some people are struggling just to survive, and some people have everything and still feel empty. You worked for this life. You wanted this. So why does it feel like something is missing? Why do quiet moments feel heavier than they should, and happiness feels distant? What if the problem isn't your life, but something much deeper you were never taught to see? You got what you wanted, and somehow that made it worse. Maybe it was the promotion, the relationship, the apartment you worked years to afford. You finally arrived at the place you told yourself would fix everything, and for a moment, it did feel good. But then, nothing. Not sadness, not even pain, just silence. Like someone slowly turned the volume down on your life without asking you. And the worst part? You can't even justify feeling this way, because from the outside, your life looks fine. More than fine. So your brain asks a dangerous question. What's wrong with me? And that question is where everything starts to fall apart. Picture someone. Let's call her Mia. Mia spent 3 years grinding. Late nights, missed calls, canceled plans. She kept telling herself the same thing. Once I get there, it'll all be worth it. And eventually, she got there. Better job, better salary, a place of her own with the balcony she used to dream about. She even found someone who genuinely cared about her. By every standard, Mia's life was working. But one evening, she's sitting on that balcony, city lights in front of her, a glass of wine in her hand. This is the moment she imagined for years. This is what making it was supposed to feel like. And yet, she feels nothing. Actually, worse than nothing. She feels guilty for feeling nothing. Like she's ungrateful. Like she's broken. Like she somehow failed at being happy even when happiness is right in front of her. She doesn't tell anyone. How could she? What would she even say? I have everything, and I feel empty. People wouldn't understand. They'd say she's dramatic, ungrateful, spoiled. So she stays quiet, and the silence, it makes it heavier. If any part of this feels familiar, stay with me. Because what Mia is experiencing has a name, and once you understand it, you will never look at your life the same way again. There's a concept in psychology that almost no one warns you about, and it quietly affects almost every human life. It's called hedonic adaptation, and it explains more about your emptiness than you might be ready to hear. Here's the truth. Your brain is not designed to keep you happy. It's designed to keep you alive, and survival doesn't need happiness. It needs attention, alertness, problem solving. So every time something good happens in your life, your brain does something almost cruel. It adjusts. That new apartment, at first, it feels like a dream, but give it a few weeks and it becomes normal. Just walls, just space, just your place. That relationship, it starts with excitement, energy, butterflies. But over time, it becomes calm, stable, predictable. And your brain doesn't say, this is safe. This is real. It says something is missing. That job you worked so hard for, the one you thought would change everything, it becomes routine. Emails, meetings, deadlines, and the title that once meant everything slowly means less. This is not your fault. This is not you being ungrateful. This is biology. Your brain resets your happiness every single time you level up, and this is where it becomes dangerous, because you start thinking, maybe I just need something bigger, a better job, a better relationship, a better version of your life. So you chase again, and maybe you win again, but the feeling never stays. And this is the trap most people never escape. They spend their entire lives chasing the next version of happiness without realizing the feeling they're chasing was never meant to last. But here's the part that hits deeper than biology, because hedonic adaptation is only half the story. The real reason you feel empty, it's quieter than that, simpler than that, and honestly, more uncomfortable. You don't actually know what you want anymore. Think about it. For years, maybe your whole life, you were following a script. Study hard, get the degree, find the job, build the life. be successful, be stable, be good enough. And you did it. Or at least you're trying to. You followed the map that was given to you, and you followed it well, and it took you somewhere real. But no one ever told you what happens when you arrive.
Because arriving doesn't feel like arriving. It feels like standing still in a life you worked hard to build, waiting for a feeling that never comes. And slowly, something inside you starts asking, is this really it? That question is where everything begins to change. Here's what most people get wrong. They think this emptiness is a problem to fix, something to escape, something to cover up. But it's not. The emptiness you feel is a signal. It's your inner life trying to get your attention, and it's been trying for a long time. Because when you were busy surviving, grinding, building, proving yourself, you didn't have time to ask deeper questions. So you pushed them aside again and again. But now, life is quieter, and those questions are finally catching up to you. Questions like, who am I when I'm not trying to prove something? What actually makes me feel alive, not productive? What kind of life do I want if no one is watching? These questions are uncomfortable because they don't have easy answers, and answering them means accepting something hard. That you might have built a life that looks right, but doesn't feel right. And that realization, it scares people. So they do one of two things. They distract themselves. Constant noise, work, scrolling, staying busy, because silence is where the emptiness lives. Or they start chasing again. A bigger goal, a higher version, another next level. But no matter how far they go, they keep running into the same feeling. Because the problem was never the goal. It was the disconnection from yourself. Here's the shift. And it's simple, but not easy. You don't need to fix the emptiness. You need to listen to it. Because it's not telling you to do more. It's asking you to come back to yourself. Not the version of you that performs. Not the version that achieves. The quiet version. The honest version. The one you stopped listening to a long time ago. So instead of chasing something bigger, start with something smaller. One honest moment. One real choice. One thing you do, not because it moves you forward, but because it feels like you. It might seem small, even pointless, but that's where meaning lives. Not in big achievements, not in perfect lives, but in the small, quiet parts of your day where you feel real. And slowly, that emptiness changes. It stops feeling like a void and starts feeling like a doorway back to yourself. So no, you're not broken, you're not ungrateful, and you're not failing at happiness. You're just waking up to a life that no longer fits you. And that feeling, it's not the end, it's the beginning.